What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Frisco Report. Coming at you live, full effect. Shout out to everybody in the chat box, everybody watching us live. Dallas Cowboys news brought to you by Cowboys blog, the Frisco Report. Cowboys Corner, Mike, what's going on, bro?
What you doing, man? I'm just fighting this COVID, man. That's it. I'm just trying to knock that COVID out of the park. That's it.
Yeah, bro. For those that don't know, Mike, got a little bit of that COVID over the weekend, right?
It was Thursday last week. I had to go to the hospital. Thought I was having a heart attack. It turned out it was COVID. It took a while. I'm vaccinated. It took a while I got vaccinated in March, so I think it took a while for my body to recognize the virus from that vaccine, and it finally recognized it, guys. And I'm 95%. If I test negative, I can do anything and everything that I was doing before Thursday hit. So definitely recommend vaccination. I'm getting my booster shot in January. My antibodies wear off. So if you're not vaccinated, I'm plenty of research for you to recommend you to go get that vaccination.
Yeah, good thing, man. Yeah, I was texting back and forth with Mike. I was concerned, man, because my sister's a nurse, so she knows all the oxygen levels and this and that. So, but thankfully, Mike made it through, and like I said, 95%. So, Mike, we were able to watch the game. We kind of chatted here and there, back and forth about the game, whooping that ass. What's your take, man?
It was beautiful, man. So beautiful. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was gonna be a closer game. I thought it was gonna be an all-out defensive game, because the record didn't concern me. The 3-0. It was 14 sacks, number one rush defense. Because we didn't run the ball at all against the Tampa Bay Bucks because they had that reputation of stopping the run, right? And then these guys had the reputation the first three games of allowing 45 yards per game. So I figured either we're going to pass it a lot and we're not going to attempt to run on them, or we're going to attempt to run on them and see what we can get. I think the first three plays of running on them, I think we gained 15-plus yards on all three of them. So that kind of broke the barrier of we're going to knock you on your ass in the run game. And then Dak, he didn't have to pass it much. I think he was 14 for 22, 188 yards and 4 TDs. Just an incredible day for Dak. Didn't have to over the top do it. He just had to deliver the ball when he had to deliver, and he did. And then kudos to Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard.
Dallas domination, Mike. Everything you said happened right in the game. It was a good flow. Pretty much it was domination. The score didn't really reflect how bad we destroyed these guys. Number one defense, like you said, and we set them in place. This is what you want to do, because this might be a team you see later down in the line in the playoffs. It's good to have that in the back of their head, as far as getting whooped like that. So that was a good win there, Mike. I think we covered a lot of it. The Chargers, they're looking like looks like a pretty good win by the Cowboys. Chargers pretty much put it to the Raiders last night, who were undefeated as well. So that looks like a very quality win by the Cowboys. Chargers looking like a playoff type of team, Mike. So Carolina, Chargers, good wins indeed, Mike. So, going back to the game, Mike, what do you think about the way that these guys have stepped up week in and week out?
Say that one more time. I was reading a comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Troll Nation, bro. What's your thought on how the Cowboys are stepping up on a nonstop basis every week, bro?
Yeah, it's good to see, dude. I mean, this defense. I said, I don't know, real early this offseason that I'm drinking the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid, right? And I still am. And just what Al Harris is able to do with Trevon Diggs in the secondary, Anthony Brown turning his head to get the pick a couple of games ago. I think it was against the Chargers. I mean, that just tells you right there they're getting coached right. And then seeing players put in positions to be able to showcase their talents 30 guys, Dan Quinn said on his press conference, had already played on defense. It's just incredible. I mean, my hat's off to Dan Quinn turning this thing around, putting players in position to make plays, and Kellen Moore, who I'm still up on the fence against, but so far he's been pretty consistent in play calling. So, I mean, the coordinators are just doing a fantastic job with the players they have and showcasing their best traits.
Wow. Okay. So we thought there was trolling going on, but we do have breaking news. Adam Schefter, in season surprise, Cowboys release linebacker Jaylon Smith per source. It is official. The Cowboy hater wasn't trolling after all. This is big news here. Wow, this is an amazing turn of events, everybody. We are live in effect. Jaylon Smith no longer a Dallas Cowboy. This is official. This is by an official account. Getting some follow-ups here. Wow, bro. Wow. Jaden Smith released. That is crazy. Okay, so who's next? Jabril the Steel Cox. Here we go, baby. Get on board. No, honestly, man, I kind of, that's my boy. Notre Dame, that's my guy. Just couldn't get over the injury, bro. You know what I mean? So, uh, wow, bro. In season cut. Adam Schefter reporting it. This is official. Guys, chat box, everybody live. What do you think about this? What's your feeling on the Jaylon Smith release? I'm
Yeah,
being a bit.
I'm not. I mean, I'm kind of shocked, but should we really be shocked, Cowboy Nation? I mean, we seen this guy fall off the face of the earth last year. Yes, it was a Mike Nolan defense, but if you're this guy was supposed to be before his knee injury, he was going to be a top 3 pick in this NFL draft in 2016. He got that knee injury. Cowboys got him in the second round. So I mean, is it really a surprise how much he's fell off, even in that Mike Nolan system? I mean, Dan Quinn's system. I mean, they obviously see something in there that he can't contribute to this football team anymore. I like it. Poor guy had to spend a lot of money to go from 54 to number 9, but he is released, Joe. I'm not surprised when you got guys like Micah Parsons, Keanu O'Neal, Leighton Vander Esch, who, his time in Dallas might be over at the end of this year, right? So there's a lot of moving pieces to it, but at the same time, this defensive roster, as we were talking about, Dan Quinn putting players in position to make plays, Jaylon Smith is still out of position most of the time.
All right, yeah, man. Yeah, and he was making plays. I thought he was doing okay. He definitely looked better than what he did last season, but you have to wonder, was there some behind the scenes stuff going on here where, you know what, my plays have been cut. Maybe he asked to get released. Maybe this was in the works. Maybe they didn't want to wait to the bye. I feel like this, for something to come out of nowhere like this, it was probably whispers. And Mike, you kind of called this, in the off season because
Yeah.
there were those whispers about the team was trying to trade Jaylon Smith prior to the draft,
I,
right?
I was I was thinking he was going to get traded before, or get traded or cut post June 1, and just kept him there for insurance liabilities. You didn't know how Micah Parsons was going to play out. You didn't know how Keanu O'Neal was going to adjust to converting from safety to linebacker, and those are your 2 starting nickel linebackers, right? So at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what the guy has done for minorities, the black and the brown community, for entrepreneurship, is huge, and I do appreciate him doing that for the minority culture. But at the end of the day, you're a football player, and he just wasn't doing enough out there, Joe.
Yeah, he'll get picked up. He won't last that long out there in free agency. There's a lot of teams that need linebackers out there, and people will hate on him for certain things and this and that, but you know, uh, churning the defensive roster, Mike. So sticking with the Jaylon Smith news, if you're just now joining us live, Jaylon Smith released in season per Adam Schefter. This is 100% official. This is the real deal, Holyfield. So, talking about the comfort level with the roster to make this move. Will McClay, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones have to look at this along with the rest of the coaches as far as like, okay, we're gonna make this move. Somebody's gonna really have to take those snaps. Mike, who jumps off the page for you to be that guy that gets these snaps now?
Oh yeah, Keanu Neal's coming back from COVID. Micah Parsons playing down and in and out. You still got Leighton Vander Esch for at least this year. Jabril the Steel Cox, right? We got him in the mix. Luke Gifford, he played at a high level for some of the snaps that he's already gotten on the defense side of the ball. So there's players and there's snaps that contribute to a better. Jaylon Smith's running. If you turn on the tape, he's not. He just runs goofy, right? So there's so many players on this linebacker spot that, and then you got Francis Bernard too on the other side of the token that's on IR. So there's just a lot of players that are coming back. That Jaylon Smith is obviously the odd one out.
Jalen Smith, the odd man out, and the writing was on the wall. Now, Lane Vander Esch, I like the way he's playing. He's playing good. He's always played good, but the injuries, if he can get over that injury bug, which he's holding up so far, and he's playing well, I like that. Maybe they get him on the cheap, but they definitely have set themselves up in place to take on these types of moves. Like you said, Keanu Neal is the one that really comes to mind. That guy is physical, knows the Dan Quinn system in and out. I think you got to get him. You got to check where his shape is right now. Being out 2 weeks, COVID, this kind of crap. I mean, you kind of had COVID, so you know the physical, limits that you have to take, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll be interesting. So yeah, I love Keanu Neal in the mix here, getting him back. Jabril, the Steel Cox will be in the mix as well. Gifford, it's a good mix, but I think when you think about the rookies on this team starting to really pick up snap counts, they're starting to gobble up some of the vet snaps here. I mean, you got and not to the fault of some others, but injuries and some of these opportunities have opened the door wide open. I mean, boom, kicking the door wide open with steel toe boots, busting the door open and getting to work. Making the raid to get those snaps. So Micah Parsons, Osa Odigizua, the big Bruin Bear, making a name for himself on that D line, Mike. So you know,
Yeah, I was just talking with fifth quarter Cowboys the other day on the phone, and I was like, dude, we haven't even seen Osa Odigizua, Novell Gallimore, Tank Lawrence, and if Tank Lawrence ain't careful, he could be next. In all seriousness, is this defense really missing Tank Lawrence? They're not missing him in the run game. They're not missing him in the sack game, right? So Tank Lawrence, you could be next, my dude. Just throwing that out there, Joe. But
and yeah, no, you're absolutely 100% right because at the end of the day, this is a business, and this is an example, that yeah, if you have a contract, that does not limit the Cowboys from making such a move. Now, for the Cowboys, the business side of this, they have the contract built for Lyle Collins, Demarcus Lawrence. If they want to move on, they can. We're not hating on anybody, nothing like that. That is just an absolute fact of the cap. All right. And like Mike said, don't be surprised. There's a lot of churning going on here. But I will be glad to get DeMarcus Lawrence back. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to like to see him get back in the mix. That'll leave,
oh yeah,
Mike
you need that depth.
Parsons.
You need that depth because the D line depth. I mean, yeah, you got Armstrong, you got Terrell Basham, but I
Yeah,
will take I'll take Demarcus Lawrence over Terrell Basham all day long.
exactly. And that's all we're saying. We're just giving the monetary side of it. But for the team, this is a good look at where the Cowboys are going forward defensively. It really is. I wouldn't say they're making an example of it. They just something happened behind the scenes.
Well, Kevin G, he said here, he said, bro, never thought I would see the day that they are putting talent first, not favorites.
Boom. Let's highlight that. Let's highlight that comment right out the gate. Kevin G with the heat. You hit it right on the head, Kevin G, because and Mike, we talked about this last week where, you know, the plays too, the players, it doesn't matter who gets the ball. As long as you're keeping the ball, moving the chains, there's no more forcing the ball to a certain player. You gotta give it to Zeke. There's no more of that BS. This is an amazing turn of events for the Cowboys. I mean, they're just continuing to turn this thing over. Mike McCarthy, thumbprint up in this bitch, bro. Like for real, it's hardcore, man. This is serious coaching that we have here right now. Bones Fossil might be the exception,
Yeah.
but Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore, Nussmeyer with the quarterbacks. I mean, wide receiver coach, tight end coach. You got to give it to all these guys. Philbin with the O line.
Yeah, with Terrence Steele, dude. I mean, the way Terrence Steele, he's not doo pan Steele no more. I mean, this guy is Terrence. This man's a man.
Yeah,
Just what he's been doing, stepping in for LC. I mean, we talk about when we're on the subject before Jaylon Smith got released, talking about um, just how players are stepping up, and I mean, Terrence Steele protected that right side with Zay Martin and doing a really good job. Big shout out to Dalton Schultz, blocking his ass off too. I mean, there's so many players, and I get it. We're 3-1. We're not winning this Super Bowl tomorrow, right? You just got to. It's the eye test of what we're seeing, and a lot of it we really haven't seen as Cowboy fans under previous administration.
yeah. Let's get to this comment right here. The Cowboy Hater. Okay, interesting name. Still is not a Pro Bowl right tackle like Lyle Collins. All
Mm.
right.
Mm.
Now, the thing about this is, I mean, he's playing pretty damn well, right? If he were to play the whole season, he would be in contention. You know what I mean? When your team's winning, you get more Pro Bowl votes, and I don't know. I kind of always hated the Pro Bowl crap, bro, because it's more of a what do you call it, Mike? Kind of like a favoritism type of crap. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Now, if you talk about the All Pro nominations, that's more real than a Pro Bowl. I mean, yeah, there's something to it, right?
yeah.
But still, he could be. I mean, if you're talking about playing the whole season, the way he's playing right now, I mean, stuffing Joey Bosa is pretty damn good. And then what he did with the Eagles front was pretty damn good. What he did with Brian Burns for the most part was pretty good. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you what, his feet are quicker than Lyle Collins. That's an absolute fact. Lyle Collins will beat you with power, right? But he's not as nimble or, yeah, I mean, he, I don't know. It's pretty amazing the come up that Steele has had.
Yeah, no, and Steele's not a Pro Bowl right tackle like Collins. Lyle Collins hasn't made a Pro Bowl either. Let's make sure we're clear on that, right? So to compare the two, it's just different in nature because not one of them has ever made a Pro Bowl on that right side. Lyle Collins, when he played left guard, when he's played right tackle, he hasn't made a Pro Bowl. However, the way Terrence Steele is playing right now, he's making a case. He's a second year player. He's an
Yeah.
uh, undrafted guy making a roster, playing against the best, and playing at a high level. He's making a case for it. Lyle Collins must put away the murder case. This guy's a top 10 pick, right? So
Yeah.
to compare an undrafted guy to a high pick guy, minus the murder thing, right? It's two different worlds. It's Tony Romo versus Joe Montana, right? But Tony Romo made his case. Tony Romo got to the Pro Bowl. Terrence Steele, he's doing the same thing.
No, you're right. You're right. He did not make the Pro Bowl. I'm not sure where that narrative is coming from. Just doing a little bit of a deeper dive, but yeah, Lyle Collins has not made the Pro Bowl. I don't know. Was he an alternative? I don't even
No,
think he
he's
was.
never been an alternate either.
Yeah. So debunking, debunking that. All right. So, but nevertheless,
Yeah, man.
it's a good comment to talk. So
Yeah.
appreciate that, the Cowboy Hater. It's good to get these conversations out there. Appreciate that, bro, very much. Mario Flores, according to Michael Gelkin, the Cowboys insider, Dallas couldn't find a trade partner due to his 9.2 million injury guarantee, so they released him. That's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, dude, my prediction was he's going to get traded before training camp, or he's going to get cut. And trade partners, when you put on the film, yes, the 9.2's there, but you put on the film and the talent. I mean, I'm sure a defensive coordinator is licking his chops to get him because they could fix him, right? Get the best out of him. Put him in different kind of schemes or whatever, right? Defensive coordinators are going to try to get tricky with this guy, right? Because I mean, the talent isn't there, right? And that's what they got to tap into. Dan Quinn couldn't do it. Mike Nolan sure in the hells couldn't do it. Rod Marinelli did it just for a little bit, right? So
Mhm.
there's something to be said there, but I'm not surprised there, Joe.
I like that. Good information there, Mario. On the fly, appreciate you, bro. Very much indeed. Very much indeed. Got a good comment here that I want to get to, but we do have a super chat here from A. Lavelle in the house, bro. What's up, man? What up, Joe and Mike? Hope you and your families are doing well. I can't believe Jalen Smith is released, but it sends a message. No one is safe. Like the mindset, gotta earn it. Absolutely, bro.
So
It is like a message, right?
yeah, hey Lavelle, appreciate that. My family and I we're recovering from this COVID nonsense, but we're doing great. But I hope your family's great. But no, I like the mindset. This is like Joe said, Mike McCarthy thumbprint, bam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
it is. It is. This is a Mike
Charlie
McCarthy.
mess around, he's out the door. High school Harry, he don't work here.
He doesn't, man. And we do have some knuckleheads here that they gotta take notice on this crack because he ain't messing around here. And I kind of like this move. At the same time, I hate to see my boy leave, man. He did a lot. It was a great story. I'm never gonna bag on him, man, like that. I think he's got to earn his living, and it is what it
Oh
is.
yeah, what he does for the minority humans is just
And so got a good comment here. Got a good comment here from the Cowboy hater. I wanted to highlight because I think it's an interesting one because you talk about
exactly Mario.
maybe you want to pick up somebody. Maybe you want to get some trade action going. If you have some trade assets, right? Would you trade Lyle for an Xavier Howard, Mike?
No, no, because we just cut a second round pick that we took a chance on. Okay, that was one of the second round picks we used to take a chance on a player. He just got cut today, right? Kelvin Joseph, can we try him out? Nashawn Wright, can we try him out? Maurice Kennedy, oh, I've been screaming for his name, but he hasn't been looking the best out there,
Yeah,
right?
what happened there? Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
kind of a weird one there, right?
He's out. I think he's out of groove. I think he's out of groove. But
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think you gotta try out what you got before you allocate other players and trades and stuff like that too. Because yes, it's great we have Terrence Steele playing at a high level, but do you want to go back to Brandon Knight at the right side? You see what I'm saying? Let's tone back. Let's try to save us because we got Terrence Steele for another at least 3 years because all the restricted tenders we could put on him, right? So let's enjoy some depth for once. Is what I'm trying to say here, Jim.
Well, the interesting thing about Terrence Steele is you actually can't you can't make him a restricted guy because he's undrafted. So you pretty much would have to re-sign him before his contract ends because he was an undrafted free agent. So in theory, being that he's an undrafted rookie, you could extend him, in another year or two. So that's something that might be on the board. But it's a good question, the conversation to have because what if Josh Ball comes back after the bye? He becomes that other swing tackle that you're hoping that you can develop as well. So then, you might have something there on the offensive line where somebody comes calling, maybe not Lyle, but maybe somebody else. Maybe somebody wants to look at Connor Williams. I think McGovern's ready to rock and roll. So, you know, we do have something there if they wanted to, but knowing the Cowboys, they probably won't. To be honest, Cowboy hater, they just it's rare that they trade players. You know what I mean? So It's really not in their the history. They might trade for a player, but I don't know that they'll do it. I mean, they obviously tried. According to Gelkin, they tried, but nobody was going to bite on that injury in the contract. That's a big deal. And not that Jaylon has been injured since he became the starter linebacker. He stayed pretty damn healthy. He's always available. I guess the risk is re-injuring the knee and just blowing it completely out. So that might be the risk there with that. So yeah, Grady Jarrett. I'm seeing some of that here in the chat box. Watch out for Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle from Atlanta. Quinn, former pick. The rumors are swirling. Yeah, I've kind of heard that name here and
I don't know
there.
who that is. I can't talk on that.
Yeah, yeah, he's a defensive tackle. Yeah, he's pretty good actually. He's pretty good defensive tackle. But what would the cost be? So, guys, if you're joining us now live, in effect, Jaylon Smith has been officially released by the Dallas Cowboys. In-season move per Adam Schefter. Ian Rappaport now reporting it. Jane Slater, all the heavy hitters are reporting this right now. So, yeah, it's interesting news indeed, man. But Cowboys have really changed the culture here almost overnight, bro. Because you think about the next man up mentality with Garrett, it never worked. With this coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, year two, it's working, bro. Like it's really working. So you feel good about the next man up. We know Keanu Neal, but we know Jabril Cox eventually is going to get on the field. He just looked too dang good in the preseason, you know, and to keep off the field much longer. So very very interesting news, man. Very interesting news. I'm kind of shocked, honestly. That it was in season like this. Like, I don't think anybody saw this coming, but it is what it is. Um, see what else we got here in the news in the field here. Troy Clark, Joe, my brother. This was a mood that is making us better. A move that was making us better. Yeah, yeah, it definitely makes us better because everybody talked about Jaylon Smith being a liability in coverage. He was. There's no denying that. His lateral movement was limited. That was that. He was really limited to downhill, right? Coming from the line of scrimmage straight down, shooting the gap. If you needed him to go laterally, he didn't have that move. There was some awkwardness there. Um, I mean, he's still a fast linebacker. We saw what he did with Deshaun Watson, chased him down, hit him really hard. He made good plays for the Cowboys at times, but the Cowboys didn't invest all these defensive picks for nothing. They have a roadmap in place, and you're seeing it being executed right now with Dan Quinn as the executioner, right? I mean, he had to say, "Hey, Dan Quinn, what do you think about this move?" And yeah, if an offense is going to attack our defense, where are they going to attack us? Your defensive coordinator is going to say, well, if Jaylon Smith is out in coverage, they're going to attack that right there and convert a first down. So you got to fix that. And I think that's the part of the deal here, Mike. Getting the input from Dan Quinn to move on from Jaylon Smith.
Yeah, no, like no. Stephen Jones and Will McClay and Jerry Jones, they all say it. Player acquisition is 365 days, and they also follow that up with, it starts with making your roster better, right? And they feel like cutting Jaylon Smith makes the roster better. Do they have something up their sleeve? Is there something behind closed doors? Like Joe, you brought this up. Did he ask for this? Because the timing on this is just weird, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe he asked for a release. Maybe the Cowboys asked him to take a pay cut. Who knows? I mean, there could be numerous things. But according to Marcus Spears from ESPN, he heard this rumor swirling a couple of days ago. So this has been in the works. It's nothing surprising. But are both parties at mutual agreement, or was Jaylon Smith also cut off guard?
Yeah, more details will come out here. Fast and Furious, I'm sure Jane Slater is on top of this. America's sweetheart. I'm sure she'll give us the deets on this. It'll be interesting, but nevertheless, you got to move on, and the Cowboys have, and as fans, we will too. And best of luck to Jalen Smith, bro.
Yeah.
Best of luck to Jalen
Yes.
Smith. So number 9 will be, if somebody else wants number 9, I don't know if they will. I feel like that number should be semi retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people really love Tony Romo. And as a fan of Jalen Smith, I wanted him to stay with 54. I didn't want him to go with 9 because I just felt that was too soon. But Jerry let it happen, man. So and he had to spend some money too. Jalen had to spend money
Yeah. He
on
had to spend a lot of money on that.
yeah. So, but the defense, bro, they're clicking on all cylinders. Mike, can they keep this moving? Can the defense keep it going? We're playing the Giants next. We'll do a little preview conversation. Appreciate everybody in the chat box tonight. Frisco Report Tuesday night. It seems like we always occasionally get breaking news when we go live on Tuesday. So that's why we love Tuesday nights, man. It's something crazy seems to always happen on a Tuesday night, right? In the off season and now in the regular season. So this is just another one of those moments here. Jalen Smith release. But Mike, the Giants are next. Is this a trap game, bro?
Fair question. It's a fair question. I think the Cowboys got to just come out here. They got to run this ball. They can't get too cute and try all these jet sweeps and all this crap. They just the defense. You got to get that to Daniel Jones. Got to hit him in the mouth. I don't think there's a wide receiver over there that scares me that Diggs or Anthony Brown can't cover. I'm being honest. Yeah, you got Saquon Barkley over there, but I think we have the Micah Parsons to match his speed to stop that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if and this is a divisional game, so you got to throw a lot of the stats out the window. You got to throw the record out the window, and you just got to go pound for pound. It's going to be another physical, hard game. But I think the Cowboys should go in here and treat this thing like the Eagles game, another 40 burger. And if they don't, what happened? What's going on? I don't see why we couldn't. Especially with this move of Jaylon. Hopefully this brings some fire under some other players' asses and gets them going too.
Good points. Good points all around, Mike. You hit it right on the head, man, with a sledgehammer to be exact. Because, there's nothing more true than that, right? So some of these moves, they do like a little something under some of these players that might kind of be, not fully on board. And I feel like a lot of the team is because we're just having a lot of success right now. But there might be the outlier. And this might be a message to some of the outliers, some of the Charlie F arounds of the team that are on here. Like, hey, you may not be safe here, so get your crap in line. So it's gonna be a trap game indeed because this is a horrible team. This is a team that has dysfunctionality from the head coach down. Even from ownership down. You know what I mean? So overly dysfunctional. They're talking about firing Joe Judge, firing Jason Garrett. It's in total shambles right now over there. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones, a complete disaster, throwing the ball, interceptions all over the place. So Trevon Diggs, he already slept today. I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait, bro. Speaking of Trevon Diggs, Mike, his back, I think he's still dealing with a little bit of stiffness. Is that right? I think you were looking at that earlier.
Yeah, he's still dealing with some stiffness there. Nothing, the taking him out of the game, calling it veteran management or what do they call it on national TV? BS. Mm-hmm. He had some back stiffness there. Just working with some icy hot and some Vicks will get him fixed up.
Yeah, just slap that on there, you'll be good to go. Getting more. I think he's chomping at the bit, bro. Like if I'm Trevon Diggs, I'm like, I'm getting out here and getting some interceptions off this guy.
Yeah.
And he should do it. Yeah, I think they're in for a long day. As long as they stay focused. I like our D line versus their O line. They keep shuffling players around, picking up players off the street free agents that try to plug and play. Really, they're a complete mess. You know what I mean? I think by the time we play the Giants the second time in the season, either Joe Judge will be gone or Garrett will be the interim or vice versa. one of those guys will not, will not be around the second time, and this might be our nail in the coffin. After we totally obliterate the Giants, one of those guys might get canned. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, dude, something has to go completely wrong, and this is a big game for Dak Prescott, Joe. This marks,
Mm-hmm.
week 5 he got hurt against the Giants at home. Week 5 against the Giants at home, he's playing them again, right? So this is a big game. This is a big game for Dak Prescott mentally, and I expect Dak to get some revenge and light these fuckers up, dude. I really do.
No, I think you do. You do. Like you said, it's got to be like the Eagles, 40 burger, 50 burger, even. So, and I think that this team, the way that they've been playing, that they know they didn't finish strong. I think in this game, this could be a complete obliteration of the mind and soul where these guys never recover. This might put the Giants in a complete tailspin. And I want it to be us that do it. Like you said, the 1 year anniversary, Dak Prescott, that injury happened with the Giants at home at AT&T Stadium, so it's almost to the date almost.
Mm-hmm.
This week. So I want to see Dak put it to him. Ezekiel Elliott is looking incredible, man. This guy, he finally broke off a long run, one of the longest runs in a couple of seasons, man.
Yeah, yeah, and I told you guys this. They're easing again. Zeke's gonna get his carries. That's exactly what they did, Joe. Just don't throw players away because Tony Pollard had having success. We should want both players having success because when your quarterback throws 4 touchdowns for 188 yards, you got some success.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Soup Trap
Oh,
with
even
the,
see it
the
come through.
the super chat. Do you think releasing Jalen and talking about trades while the team is playing so well upsets the locker room dynamic? I really don't think that this is going to be an issue for the locker room because this, like we said, this was kind of a rumor, pre-draft. So I think the teammates were kind of maybe they've been kind of expecting this move, especially with what they've done with the draft. With Keanu Neal as a free agent, you know, Micah Parsons, Jabril, and these guys. So there's obviously the writing is definitely on the wall, and I think that it was just a matter of time. So I don't think it'll affect the locker room dynamic either. One of Mike McCarthy's main hires was his assistant coach, and his duty was building relationships of the locker room and coaches, and I think he was probably a part of this decision as well. Getting a tempo of of the locker room. So I don't think this will affect the locker room dynamic. Jalen Smith, pretty good leader. He's but at this point, is he just a cheerleader? If that's kind of what he was doing, with his snap count getting cut down, that's an expensive cheerleader. You know what I mean? So these guys are ready to jump in place, man, and I think we're going to see it, with the young guys in particular. We know about Keanu Neal, but I think Gifford will get some more snaps if he can stay healthy. He gets dinged up, but maybe you call up Francis Bernard as well. Maybe he gets off of practice squad and actually gets some more snaps there. You know what I mean? But for sure, Jabril will probably get some more snaps in there.
Just ignore that. I commented on there. I noticed my card updated with the next expiration date. So I had to renew my payment. So I'm back as a Hall of Fame member. I got my card updated, so we're good there. But no, 100%. And it looks like the Patriots are going to be working out Jaylon Smith later on this week. So we'll definitely see him sooner than later.
Oh, did you see that already?
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Soup Trap, appreciate you, bro. Long time member of the channel. Appreciate you on Twitter as well, my bro. Okay, I see this as well. Somebody posted this up. Mario Flores. Breaking news: the Pacers have reached out to Jalen Smith and are bringing him in for a workout later this week. Cowboys, yeah, that's good, man. That's good. And I figured as much. I didn't think that he would be one of these guys that won't find something here. Like I said, a lot of teams need a lot of linebackers, and he might fit in that in what Belichick wants to do there. So it's going to be about fit, for Jalen Smith. That Everybody has scouted him already. GMs, they know what his limitations are, what he can do. So evidently, they like what they can see. They like what they've seen from him in certain aspects. So that's good, man. That's good for him. Mario in the clutch. Yes, indeed. Soup Trout. Yes, indeed. Pass the work on Jimmy Collins. I think they already did, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think they re-signed that guy either. I think the ship man sell on that. I think he's come back and forth, and who knows. But if he doesn't sign with the Patriots, he'll go on with somebody else. So
He'll go to the New York Football Giants.
he could. He could.
The right kind of guy.
If I was him, I would want to go to the AFC, get out of the NFC because, and if he has to play us, I mean, our guys aren't going to have any mercy. I mean, Zeke, the way Zeke's running, I mean, Zeke like knocked out Shaq Thompson pretty much. I mean, he put the wood to him, dude, and Shaq Thompson got dinged up.
Yeah.
I love the way our offensive line is so physical right now. I don't even want to compare them to like 2016 or 2014, nothing like that. This is their own group, you know what I mean? Like you got Biadish in here, who I thought
That's a
he
good
had a
point.
much better game,
Yeah.
right? I thought he had a much better game here, and with the behemoth Derek Brown. I mean, he did win some snaps with Connor, here and there, but for the most part, he looked pretty good, man. And Terrence still can't say enough about how well he's playing. But Mike, dude, let's talk about Tyron Smith. He's in Pro Bowl form right now. Doesn't have the neck brace anymore. Playing out of his mind. Are we? We kind of said like, when will he get? Will he have? Will he give us 10 games this year? A lot of the conversation is that how many games would he miss? The way he's playing right now is that threshold lower now where maybe he's going to in fact finish the season.
It's a big chance he could finish the season. Now, that neck surgery, for it to take away his neck brace, had to be a real success surgery. To take away the back pain, the neck pain, it had to be a real successful surgery. And I think you're seeing that displayed in 4 games, Joe. I mean, he looks like he's 30 year in. He's not missing a beat. I mean, he's getting guys and just mauling them. He's getting at the second level on blocks and turning guys. I mean, and is this any surprise to what 77 can do? Absolutely not. It's just good. And I don't want to speak on can he play 10 games? Can he play 8? I just want him to play game by game and just get through each game healthy.
Yeah, yeah, for real. That's the main thing, right? It's the main thing. But and then the other one, Zach Martin, he's all pro form as well. Like they're just clicking really good right now. I love what we have going on right now. Physical play, taking the soul of that defense, beating them down again. And the offensive line to me, Mike, is a little bit of a game changer just in itself, where you can wear down, that defense, and they've been pretty. They've been able to run and pass in a lot of these games outside of the Buccaneers game. They seem a little bit more balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and you brought it. You made a good point though about we can't compare this to any other year because this is their line this year. I mean, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin are the vets, right? And they're doing this with Connor Williams, Biadish, and Terrence Steele, right? Biadish, and so I mean, Biadish, he still has to have good games on top of good games. Um, and they got to figure out a way to stop running behind Zach Martin almost every play. But when you can figure that out, that's a good thing because that means everything's clicking, all cylinders on that offensive line.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. It's when the defense knows that the Cowboys are going to run and we still convert or get yardage. That's a good offensive line right there. Like when they know that it's coming and they can't stop it. I mean, the pile, like we're moving the pile. we hadn't seen that in a couple of seasons. Like it was just like, oh, make your block, and then it said these guys are piling it up, getting the ball moving and really beating up those defenders. So I love what I'm seeing there, and I got to give credit to Coach Philbin on that as well. I think he's not getting enough credit for some of the what he's been doing with his line. It's I wouldn't say it's at the level of Callahan quite yet, but it's getting there. In my opinion, it's getting there. Now if he develops Josh Ball into something, Biadish might turn into something as well. Then yeah, I mean you can't deny that at that point.
Yeah, no, yeah, and like there's still untapped potential there, and it's good that we got that depth of Josh Ball and Connor McGovern and Terrence Steele because we had guys like Chaz Green. We had guys. I mean, who the heck was it last year that was just horrible? I can't remember where he even came from. I think he came from the Patriots. He just wasn't good either, right? So we got some depth there, and big shout out to Joe Philbin for developing that and getting that depth there.
Yeah, Fleming, I think is the guy you're thinking of.
Yes, Cameron Fleming. God, God Almighty.
Yeah, that didn't really work out too well with the Cowboys. He came from that Super Bowl season, and we came here just like, what happened? You know what I mean? So, but it was good, man. It's good that the Cowboys were able to you know to bow up and move on from the Garrett coaching staff, the Garrett era, and you know we do have remnants with Kellen Moore and Nussmeier, but that's kind of about it. It's a pretty much rebuilt all over the place, and including the roster. 43% churn. That's a big deal. I think by next year, this is going to be full on. Like these are McCarthy guys at that point. So interesting indeed. Mario Flores, an update here. His 9.2 million injury guarantee next year was too risky for Dallas to hold on to him for next year. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was evident, right? I think a lot of us knew like this would probably be it for Jaylon Smith.
Yep,
Next year,
100%.
yeah, you would move on. So
Yep.
for it to cut ties here early, a little bit of a surprise, but shouldn't be a big surprise to too many. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Brofius. Appreciate everybody in the chat box watching us live here, talking about the Jalen Smith release. Guys, pound that like button if you haven't already. If you're if you like the content, and you're lurking around, just hit that subscribe button. Show your boys some love here, Cowboys Corner and Cowboys Blog. We do appreciate you.
It takes two. It takes two. David Smith. David Smith said, "Joe, Why didn't they trade Jaylon Smith even for a seventh? It takes two. That's just what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It takes two to tango, and like what Gelkin reported, thanks to Mario Flores posting that up. There was that 9.2 clause in there for the injury, so that scared off a lot of teams. Like they didn't want to, take the risk on that. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. Even for a seventh round pick. You know what I mean? That I think the injury clause supersedes that part of it. So that's why you don't even get a seventh round pick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what that is. I appreciate you, David. Appreciate the comment there. More questions and comments. Keep them coming, guys. We do appreciate you. Appreciate everybody out here joining us live in effect on a Tuesday night with the Frisco Report. I like this one here. Marvel Group, appreciate you, bro. Always see you in the chat box. We're getting the dinosaurs out the building. Yeah, we are. We
Well, the
really
bad
are.
dinosaurs because Zeke. There's a lot of people from that 2016 draft class, and the bad dinosaurs, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
there's the outliers, the guys that didn't quite, survive the extinction event. Some of them did, obviously, but yeah, man, more on the game here, Mike. A little preview of the Giants game. Like we said, this will be like a classic trap game only because that team is just in so much disarray. Like you said, 40 burger it should be the goal here, and finishing strong should be the goal. So it could be 50 burger, but for the Giants, how do they score on this defense? If you're the Giants, how do you attack this defense?
I think because you got Saquon Barkley there, Joe, you got to set up some type of play action attack where Keanu Neal and Micah Parsons can bite on that. Um, but if you're moving Micah Parsons around that D line, Barkley's going to have a horrible day anyway. He's going to get introduced to number 11, Micah Parsons. All right, and then we still got Leighton Vander Esch. We still got Keanu Neal, Luke Gifford, who in the snaps that Luke Gifford played looked really well. I mean, he looked really good for the snaps that I have seen him play this year. And that's not including special teams. That's strictly defense, right? So, um, I think they got to set up some type of play action. They got to get the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands quick. You can't throw to Trevon Dick's side. Um, and if Jason Garrett's smart, he won't call anything to number 7's side. I think number 7 is going to get bored. Um, but at the same time, Anthony Brown, I think he has to step his game up too because they got Galladay over there. I think they got wide receiver Slay. Is that his name? Not Slay. What's his name? Sterling. Something Sterling.
Sterling Shepard, and
Yeah, Sterling Shepard. Yeah,
they do have Slayton as a wide receiver.
Slayton. That's what it is. So I mean, they have some speed on that side, right? But Carolina had speed too, and I think we handled that well. So I think it's going to be hard for them. I think they got to set up the run, and they got to set up some play action, and they got to get Kyle Rudolph involved somehow, form or fashion too. It's going to be tough against these linebackers and Curse, but that's the only thing that can help them is that play action, getting tight ends involved.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a long game for those guys. It would take a cataclysmic disaster for the Cowboys for us to lose this game because you have Mike McCarthy, who's really good at game planning against Jason Garrett type of offenses. We know that for a fact. Um, but some of those games were kind of close. They they did put some points up on the Packers. It came down to Byron Jones not getting the coverage on a tight end there. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But they're familiar with each other, so it will be interesting. And I think like you said, play action is going to have to be where they go, and I don't think they'll be able to execute it. I think they're going to be disrupted, from the middle, from the outside, from blitzes. And like you said, do you want Daniel Jones to throw to number 7? You know what I mean? Like, 7 is blanketing out that other side. I know that DJ Moore had some yards and stuff there, but it wasn't to the point where it hurt the team. You know what I mean? And he was there to get those interceptions.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants have a DJ Moore type of player either.
Yeah, they don't. And that offensive line stinks of high hell, south of cheese, whatever you want to call it. They stink really bad. So it should be a pretty good obliteration of the mind and soul, like I said. And the offense, let's talk about our offense versus that defense. Okay, they have invested some pretty high picks on that defense. They lost the big behemoth defensive tackle, but they've drafted. I thought they drafted pretty decent on that front there. They have the safety McKinney, and but other than that, Mike, is there anybody else on that defense that really gives you any fear?
There's a linebacker. He has 3 sacks. It's I don't know how to say it, but it's Ojulari.
Aziz Ojulari.
Yeah, he has 3 sacks. He's mixing it up a little bit there on that defense. And then you got a defensive tackle, Johnson, that has 2 sacks in these 4 games here. They got 6 sacks total. Not many. They're not really turning the ball over much. They have 0 interceptions. So, excuse me, they got two interceptions, and that came from Bradbury, one of their cornerbacks. But I mean, there's not a lot of players out here making a lot of plays. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for them on the defense side of the ball. But their defense really don't scare me.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing about this. That's why I think this coaching staff is in over their head because they have a lot of good names, a lot of good high picks. Dexter Lawrence, was a good pick. Leonard Williams is good. Reggie Ragland's a good linebacker. Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, Adore. I mean, they have some very familiar names that can play well, but I don't think their coaching staff has them playing well at all. Like those names that are on this team, they should be playing a lot better than what they are, and they're just getting freaking, you
They
know, yeah, they're not, they're not, they're a former shell of themselves.
so their leading rusher right now is their quarterback Daniel Jones, and Saquon Barkley has 52 attempts for 186 yards. So uh, Barkley, he's only averaging 50 yards a game. So
I like this right here, Mike. I like this. Neil and I are both back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess. I love that. All right, because more weaponry. You got the pass rusher Bradley and I who can get to the quarterback. We've seen that in Neil. Neil is the guy here, right? So it's good to have those two guys back in the mix. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I feel like like at this point we're not really missing Dorrance at all. And so getting it done on defense, next man up is working here, indeed. So I like that, man. I like that very much. Soup
well,
trap,
we definitely should.
soup trap as well on the Giants. They played bad teams as well. So yeah, that's bad too. Like if you're a bad team and you're losing the bad teams, you're a very bad team. So they won one game. They're 1-3. I think they're at the bottom of the division. If not, they got to be way down there. So
Yeah, they're what are they 1-3?
yeah,
Yeah, they're at the bottom. I think Washington Redskins are 2-2. The Eagles, I think they're down there with the Eagles. I think the Eagles only won one game too.
yeah. Let them stay there. Both of them, all of them can stay behind us, and they will. I think we are still, the cream of the crop here. Um, I think Washington will
Cowboys,
be
baby.
will be a good rivalry game. I think that one will be it. But the Giants and Eagles, I think we're going to totally dominate these guys. It'll be good to see when we play Washington. That'll be a good game. But yeah, man, trap game. We should totally obliterate these guys, Mike. And that's it, man. But guys, we appreciate everybody in the chat box. Joined us live here for our Frisco report sneak peek to the Giants game, and obviously a big portion talking defense and the Jaylon Smith release. So, guys, pound that like button on your way out, guys. We do appreciate you for stopping by this Tuesday night, like you usually do. We see a lot of the familiar names. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Mike, before we head out, where can everybody find you if they haven't already, bro?
Yeah, Cowboys Corner. Joe has it right there. Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube _Cowboys Corner on Twitter, guys. If you want to see me talk a whole lot of mess, follow me _Cowboys Corner on Twitter, guys, and I'll follow back. So follow it up. I ain't scared. Are you scared? I ain't scared. We got these Giants, Joe. Jaylon Smith released. This will be a
Man,
hell of a week, and my Shiba Inu is
yeah,
right.
yeah. Invest in that Shiba Inu. It's gone up crazy money there.
Not
So
financial advisors, by the way.
yeah, not a financial advisor by any means. Nothing but risk taking up in this bitch, bro. So we love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Appreciate every single one of you guys. We will catch you for the next one. I'll see you for my Friday night football frenzy and post game after the game. Peace, everybody.